thing. And it's like, dude, look at this guy's got his own rolling production studio on this little camera, like mics hanging off and boom mics and shotguns and extra GoPros, and you're like, you're holding this thing. Dude, the Siri voice just said, recording in progress, like in a creepy sci-fi I'm gonna kill you type of thing.
Isn't that weird? I have my ring light on right now.
There you go. See?
Yeah, I use it to check for ringworm, but
it's got multiple purposes. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. Nothing wrong with that.
What is going on? What are we wearing here?
Look
at this.
I don't know. What is that?
That's my Spree Tail shirt.
Oh, okay. They gave you shirts and shit already? God dang. Dude, it took me like 2 years before I got a shirt, son.
Dude, this place, I have like 3 shirts, 2 zip ups. Like the first, when you get hired, they hook you up with swag. And then like a month later, it was like swag day. So everybody drives down to their nearest office.
And you just pick whatever.
They give you a bag of stuff. Yeah. And it was like,
dude, it's so cool.
Just nailed my rings, baby.
Oh, you just got an alert?
I nailed it. So let's talk about rings. Let's talk about rings.
You're getting married. Oh, you're already married. Never mind.
Yeah. Are you married?
No.
Well, will you get married?
Jazz hands. We both are cool with that. It's not like she's hell bent on making sure that she has a ring on her finger. I don't care either way either. So there's no reason. So we're cool.
Understandable. I never had an opinion until I watched about 7 Jordan Peterson videos the other day.
Nice.
Just kind of while I was working, he was on in the background for like 3 hours,
I love it.
And he was like, people that
I
say,
remember this.
Just a piece of paper or this like that.
I remember
he went on, and I can't finish his thought, but it was essentially, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Keep going.
Yeah, it was something like putting, like, why don't you put like weight behind it? Like people that aren't putting, but then to your point, like, I think they were, talking about not having like a celebration, I think is what it was. It's like, well, we don't need to have a big wedding. It's like understandable not having a big wedding, but this is like something you should be, if you were going to do it.
And there was commitment or something, I think, in there too. There was a bunch of really cool points that he made about marriage for sure. Yeah, I think I even texted you when I read that part in the book. I was like, dude, you got to check out these parts about like marriage and relationships. It's insane.
Yeah, I remember you were like chapter 10 and chapter 11.
Yeah, it is in the double figures.
But this was, it was just some YouTube that he was, probably from the book, bits and pieces. And
that's his
great.
thing. That's definitely his jam.
It was great. He's so awesome. I've been down so many YouTube rabbit holes, just letting it go while I'm working, which is great because you can, if you really get into some of the ones that are like an hour and a half and 2 hours long, sometimes you don't go down the whole thing, but it's like, if you let it play in the background, you'll pick up things you never would have learned because you turn it off too soon, because they are long, whether it's Jordan Peterson or Joe Rogan or whatever it is.
For sure.
And, I came into this guy that I shared with you a long time ago, but I came into this guy again that was talking about volume of working out, where like, you go do jujitsu, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you, instead of doing 3 rounds, you do 5 rounds, like you go all out.
Yep.
But I go every single day and I go 3 rounds every day. Yeah. So at the end of the year, I have like 100 more hours of mat time than you do. Maybe I didn't go as velocity, as high as intensity,
crazy.
But there were days that I did, if I was going into a tournament, there would be days that I got into the intensity. So if you and I get into a match, you might be able to bring that intensity because, you're going hard, but I felt that. But I felt that before because I've gone to that. But I also have 100 more hours of training than you because I'm able to train every single day. And I thought, wow, that's beautiful,
Yeah, that's why I was saying about the rings, dude. Back to the ring point.
And that's why I brought it back. And that's why I brought it in. And he was saying, how like, if I'm going to teach a guy, I'm going to start working out with a guy, and let's say his max pull-ups are 10. Like this, most he can do is 10. Like he can't do 11. Even with a gun to his head, he can't do 11. He goes, when he comes to me, we're only going to do 5. because he can do 5, and then we're going to do 5 the next day, and then we're going to do 5 till it's easy, then we're going to do 6 till it's easy, then we're going to do 7. He goes, because if he can train, let's say theoretically 7 days a week doing 5 pull-ups, that's 35 pull-ups. Well, let's say you do your 11, but now you can't do them again until Thursday. Well, then you do 11 on Thursday.
Your hands are blown.
And if you do another 11 on Thursday, that's 22 pull-ups to my 35 pull-ups.
You're still way behind, yeah.
So he's like, why would you ever train to exhaustion? And Joe Rogan's like, you're telling me that I've been doing it wrong for so many years. He's like, not wrong. There's different ways to do it. Like people, it depends on what you're doing too. Like I was watching Pump and Iron.
For sure.
And like those guys are doing something different. Like,
totally
of course,
different.
I wouldn't work out that way because I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Right. But if you were trying to do that, then you might do ungodly supersets and all this stuff.
Yeah,
so
just insane things.
Yeah, it was so valuable, and it's just like
it just goes to show too that there's no magic button. Like it's so particular towards your journey that like I could tell you all day, hey, go get a battle rope, hey, go get some kettlebells, Joel, hey, go get a weight vest, man. And that might not work for you. It just might not work for you, dude.
That's what he's. And I saw another thing with Arnold, and he was talking. The guy was like, "Well, if you were going to do, a bicep workout, what would it be?" He's like, "I would just do barbell, do like an easy."
I would do the preacher bench.
Yeah, he's like an easy bench. That's really good, dude. Like an easy curl bar. You know how they're kind of like wavy.
Yeah, love that thing.
Those are the best. And he's like, I would do those. He's like, and then he's like, what about tricep? He goes, I would just do the ropes, where you like pull down.
Yeah, I love that too.
Now, some people, the guys I used to work out like to do that, but that was
because, head extension.
Yeah, and you get the deep extension. He's like, and that's what worked.
The deep end.
For him. He's like, but for me, I got great pump and I got great move just doing these. He's like, so that would be my exercise. And to your point, it doesn't matter what. Yeah, then pull them at the end like that. So I'm digging it, man. I'm going into. I want to do a little bit of a circuit every day. Where it's just like you're hitting muscles all the time.
Down. Write a little game plan down. Nothing crazy. You don't have to get crazy because then it'll be overwhelming.
I call one of my buddies who's been doing,
Yeah, you were saying that you have a friend that kind of has a gym or something, right?
Well, he's been on this for a while, and he's the guy that juices and stuff off and on for the last 20 years. But he's like, and he talks about the journals. He's like, man, I've looked back in my journals for years, and he keeps detailed logs of his workouts.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, and he's like, I would recommend getting a journal and writing. He's like, because you're never going to know. So, and then he brought me, and then he talked to me about Wendler. And I was like, dude, we went to high school with that guy. He's like, no way, really? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that guy's legit. The 531 that Wendler put out, that's like a thing, right?
He was an animal, bro.
Well, have you seen that program he has?
No.
So he's like famous. It is called 531. It's called like the Wendler. And there are people from all over that like follow this guy because of this 531 program that he wrote like 5 or 10 years ago.
I remember seeing him blowing blood vessels in the fucking weight room.
I wasn't that really close with him, but
deadlifting and shit.
But I remember him. I remember being at JJ Myers one time, and he was just fully jacked. Like he could barely walk down the stairs of the basement.
Dude, there was some crazy dudes in that weight room. Some beasts, dude. We had some beasts in our class. You had some beasts in your class. There was a lot of people. There was some beasts in the class, ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, there was some huge motherfuckers in that gym all the time. Even when I was a freshman and you were a sophomore and there was 2 classes ahead of us, we're talking about. Dude, Jeff Boris's class, all them, they were freaking beasts. All those guys were beasts.
Oh, I didn't go. I went in there like one time, and that's just what I'm feeling. I'm telling you, the weights are calling me. It's like I finally got like a habit of cardio in my life. I have a habit of running. I have a habit of doing long walks, which I love. I have a habit of doing sprint work now. Like this has been going on, I'd say, for a year and a half. And it's like, but now I need to put some load on. I need to have, load on my limbs, on my muscles. And it's just like,
you just challenge yourself. Yeah. Just bring in a little bit more.
And like, I just want a little bit fuller, I just want to be a little bit fuller and just stronger up here. because I have the physique for it, and I just can't wait to see like what even minimal amount of work will do to my body.
You
You know
start
what I mean?
dropping weight and you'll start to see muscle that you didn't know you had. Like that was one of the things that I noticed right away was like, oh dude, like you see gains so much quicker when you have like no body fat. And it's so much more, like rewarding, or like not rewarding, but not momentum,
Fading.
but like like it gives you confidence. It's a
Oh
confidence
yeah.
builder because you're like, I see it working. You literally like see it working. It's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just start stripping weight and just keep grinding, and then next thing you know, you'll be able to start slinging some weight, and you'll see the gains, and you'll be able to kind of sculpt based on what's working. Like if you want, like you said, if you wanted to build up your chest a little bit, you'll actually see it working. Like if you
Yeah.
wanted to build your buys, like you were saying, or something, you'll actually see that
Yeah.
shit working, dude. It's pretty cool.
Dude, I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. And you're right, like the plan thing is key, because you can go into the gym, and even for somebody who has a decent head on their shoulders and like has read a bunch of that stuff, I still go into the gym and go,
What are you
I
doing?
don't
Yeah.
fucking
I'll
know. I
go hit
could
the
do any
I'll
of
go I'll
this.
go walk the track real quick and warm up, and I'll figure it out. Then
I'll
you
think
walk the
about
track a
it.
couple times. You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know what? I am gonna go do some. I'm gonna go do some machine work. I'll do some triceps and stuff like you were just saying. You go do some of the go-tos that you know how to do, and you can look cool. Get a little loose. So you hit the go-tos, and you're like, maybe I'll just make it a cardio day. Boom, hit the treadmill, easy button, you're good. But then other days you're like, man, you know what? I'll go back to that weight room really quick, and maybe I'll just bench press, some 45-pound plate on both sides or something. Do that really quick. You go in there, you sit down, you put that 45 on both sides, you take that shit off, you pound that thing up twice, and like the third time, you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna put this back up. Boom, you
Yeah.
put that back on. Or you're just like, yeah, I'm good. And then
Good
you're
enough.
like, my arms are blown, my chest is blown. Let's go over to like the fucking Pilates area. So I go over to the Pilates area, and I start to do some like hangs, because now my chest is blown. My shoulders are blown. So I'm like trying to stretch it out a little bit. Then I go back over to the treadmill and just hit the easy button. So yeah,
Dude,
gotta have a plan.
or like you're on the treadmill and you're like trying to figure it out. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
you know
just figure it
what?
out on the treadmill.
Upper body sounds good today. I'll do some bench. Okay.
Yep.
I'll do some bench, and then I'll do a push and a pull. So I'll do a
Yeah.
push, and then I'll do some lats. I'm gonna do bench lat. Well, you
Yeah.
go over to the bench and they're all full. You're like, okay,
That
well, I'm not
too.
gonna do
I had that
bench.
happen all
I'll
the time.
do
I'll do the
dumbbell
lats
flies.
first. I'll do the lats
Do
first.
the
I'll do the lats first. I'll
lats.
do it on the machine. I'll do it on the machine.
Yeah. Okay. So then it's like the whole thing's out the window. And then you're like, screw it, I'm out of here. And then you just leave.
Yeah.
You're there
And then
like
you go,
20 minutes.
yeah, you're just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go get a milkshake. Like Goggins said, So I go get that motherfucking milkshake, and I would slam that thing, and I would watch Baywatch and shit. Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen. And I'm like, motherfucker, I want to be a Navy SEAL because of Charlie Sheen jumping off the bridge or whatever, something like that. He said, Discovery Channel. He's like, I was watching Discovery, drinking a milkshake, feeling sorry for myself. And I'm just like, dude, this guy's amazing. He's the best, because that's so legit. I can put myself in his, in that vision that he's describing. I can totally put myself in there.
I
Anybody
love
that's
that
been like
movie.
low,
I love
Oh,
that movie.
the Navy SEALs movie with Charlie Sheen. Oh, dude, that movie's great.
When he jumps
That's
out he's like, I'm out of here. And he jumps out the Jeep
off
right
the
off the
bridge.
thing.
Dude, it's one of the best scenes of all time. Do you know what, dude? For real. If no one's seen Navy SEAls, I got
Like
two recommendations
1984.
tonight. Yeah, something like that. I got two recommendations tonight. Navy SEAls with Charlie. There's a bunch of guys in there. I can't remember all the guys, but Charlie Sheen is the main one of the main characters.
Dennis
And
Haysbert is in there.
there's so many famous people in there.
Yeah.
Everybody would be blown away. But the second one I got for you tonight, which is kind of an oddball, is Gremlins Part Two.
Oh gosh, why?
So Gremlins Part Two, because I just saw this thing. It was like, how you said you keep shit on in the background on YouTube, right?
Yep.
So we were looking up something else, and then I closed it, and then boom, up popped some Gremlins thing, and it went into like autoplay, and I just started watching it, and they were saying how Gremlins is like the craziest, most insane movie ever made. It's the only movie in Hollywood history where the studio gave the director complete carte blanche and just like, you can do whatever you want. And they're like, and that's one of the reasons why it's never happened again, is Gremlins Part Two. They're like, you got it.
Thanks, Gremlins.
They're like, it's insane. It is the most insane movie. It's the best comedy ever made. They were like, this is the craziest shit you'll ever see. It is the craziest story. It's the craziest visual effects, and it starts off with a Daffy Duck cartoon, for Christ's sake. He's like, it makes zero fucking sense. He's like, it's so out there. He's like, this is what you get when you tell the director in Hollywood you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, but like, you did such a great job with the first one. We're gonna let you take it from here.
Have fun. There's 300 mil. Call me when you got a fucking
or two. 300 mil. Back then it'd be like 3 mil.
Yeah, right, for sure.
Dude,
300,000.
check this out.
Maybe.
This is what I'm listening to right now.
Wasn't he on? Was this guy on podcasts?
I don't know, but I'm listening to this book right now, and I have to tell you, this book is phenomenal. It's called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Oh gosh, man, you got to check this thing out.
I definitely have heard of it.
I'm I don't know, 6-7 chapters in, and on my walks I listen to it. It's a perfect thing. He's like this British guy, and he talks real succinctly.
You learn so much better from Brits, bro. I'm telling you.
You really do.
That's not like colonialism or racism or nationalism or whatever you want to call it. Don't label me. Brits with their accent, I'm all in, dude. I'm like, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
That's why I feel like the news should always be like in British.
BBC, like, bro. Just get rid of the rest of them. Let's just everybody fucking tune into the BBC, man. Let's just stop the nonsense already.
It's so funny, dude. This book is great.
I'd take the fucking vaccine if some Brit dude was like, "You better take the vaccine," And I'd be like, "I'm fucking in. Let's go." Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Don't be a wanker. Don't be a wanker.
Only wankers don't. So
that's how bad my accent is. I apologize.
Yeah, mine too. It's horrible. This book is like, it's so data driven too, because
that's right up my alley.
I know he's like, they talk about studying babies in the womb and how we sleep from day one all the way until now, and how the circadian rhythms change. And how why a 16-year-old kid is not trying to not listen to you, but how their rhythms like fall back later and why they stay up later and da-da-da-da. And so even in the last week, I've changed my sleep habits to where last night.
Based on some of this guy's tips, yeah.
Oh, totally. Last week, okay, so here's one that really blew me away. So he's like, okay, let's say you're going to sleep. And you're getting good sleep. So my sleep app.
So you're still tracking. Sure.
My sleep. It's like my favorite thing to do every morning. It tells me, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting 66, 76. Now I'm getting like 86. The other night I had a 90% sleep quality, which is crazy. And
that's really good.
And when I was back in Arizona just recently, I was doing like 4.5 hours average sleep. Like, it was so bad. They say if you one night of 4 hours of sleep will drop a man's testosterone in half.
Testosterone, yeah.
Testosterone. I don't know what I said.
Yeah, no, I follow you.
Yeah, we'll drop it in half. And like, that's just one night. Think about how many nights I'm chaining this into it.
Dude. And then think about like how you can't ever then get ahead of the workout game, or like the losing weight game, or the, all of that stuff ties back in. And then you compound that with fucking eating. Oh, good Lord. So
like my deep sleep and my light sleep are like off the charts. They're always really high, like really high.
I gotta start tracking again.
Which is great. But the REM sleep, right, which is key. But here's what happens. The REM sleep, as you probably know, because we know the basics, we know a little bit deeper, doesn't happen until the very end. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's like your last hour, let's say. Well, you might get like 6 hours of really good, deep and solid sleep. But if I was getting up at 5 a.m. and not getting like that last hour and a half of sleep, I'm really, really hurting myself. Like,
you're never recharging.
I'm never getting the reset and like the clearing of the stuff, and he talks about all this. I'm like not getting the clearing of the stuff out of the brain to then help me with my memory and all that stuff.
And retaining new shit, right?
And retaining new shit, right? And so it's like that's where like Alzheimer's and dementia really come 100%. In. They're saying a lot of these old people that come in with ailments, actually, if they would just sleep more, a lot of these things, even what they think is onset early dementia isn't. It's just you're not sleeping.
Shitty sleep. And I'm telling you, like how you age, everything, your energy levels, your intelligence, your all of that stuff. I mean, dude, that's why everybody always is like laughing and is, you know, like kind of making fun of me if I sleep till 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that, because everybody always gets up at, like you said, like 5 and shit. And I'm like, I sleep until my body says to get up. I mean, if I was losing my jobs over it, I would change things around, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I have the luxury of being able to kind of adjust things how I want. But I mean, that's been my trick forever. I've been telling people that since I was 18. You know, they're like, "What's your secret?" I'm like, I just sleep right. I sleep 8 hours a day, every fucking day.
You're like out of the game. Yeah, you're out of the game because. You know, and so I'm in the middle of not in the middle of, I'm like day 3 of no caffeine, right?
Yeah.
And which the first couple of days, I wanted it because like you wake up in the morning, you go out on the porch, it's a beautiful sunny morning, and you're like, oh, a nice cup of coffee.
Routine too.
Yeah. So I was like, I want that. Then now day 2 was like, I wanted it in the afternoon because I was tired. Today, I got 8 hours last night. My energy level was solid. Normally, I take some naps during the day. I still do meditation, but I wasn't tired. My energy is great right now. And
that's huge.
It's crazy. It's only day 3. So it's like, plus the caffeine was affecting my sleep because I was drinking it all day long. All day, which I knew, but I also thought, hey, I'm still getting good sleep.
Yeah, it can't be that bad. You sell yourself on and shit. Yeah.
Well, and you've seen this before. And in fact, I think you shared this with me a while back, but there's all these PDFs, which I don't have the book, but talking about how when they gave spiders different drugs, and they gave spiders caffeine, they gave them LSD, and they gave them marijuana, and they show them shit, do their webs. Yeah,
cocaine, they do their webs. Stuff, all crazy
well,
stuff.
One of the worst ones was actually caffeine. The guy didn't do a damn thing. At least in like pot, it was like he quit halfway.
Yeah, convoluted and like trippy. It was like
no, the pot one was good. The pot one was like he like half-assed it.
There was no pattern. There was no like rhyme or reason to it.
The pot was pretty good. He was just lazy. You could tell he was lazy. He just quit.
That's what I'm saying.
He's like,
we're good here, man. I'm gonna go play some Call of Duty.
This should catch fun over here. I don't know.
I gotta see him again now that you say that, just to make sure.
I'll pull it up.
I remember maybe the LSD one is the one I'm thinking of. That was like fucking like he drew like outer space and stuff, and he had like shaded it properly and everything. And you're like, what the fuck? You know, you see like, you know, Winnie the Pooh or something. He made like a fucking etch-a-sketch drawing with his web. You're like, God, dog. George Washington, really?
George Washington. Here we go.
KFC logo.
So like. Okay, normal.
There's the LSD. I told you. Look at that shit, dog.
Yeah, that's like that was kind of like I'm trying to like get into his mind. Okay, so marijuana, look, he had it going, then he's just like, I think I'm gonna go play Call of Duty. Right.
I like that.
Caffeine though, not even like I don't even know. Like no, I don't know what's going on here. Sleeping a little ADD-ish, maybe ADD, like we'll do a little over here, we're gonna do some over here. The benzo.
Yeah, but they can't really get like a rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, it's like fractured. It's like kind of fractured.
Yeah, it's like fractured.
Yeah, the pot one is too, but there's a little bit of something going on in that pot one. Maybe another dimension. They both the pot and the LSD one have like that like break.
Yeah, there's a break in it. But that's why I'm thinking like he was real good. He like started off, he's like, and he's like, whatever.
Dude, that Benzedrine one, that one looks like a Spider-Man fucking cover. If you just keep, finish that top right there, it's almost like a full head and shoulders, dude. Look at that.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see what you're saying. This is
looking to the right, like facing to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking towards that mouse. Looks like a fucking head.
Pain
and then the shoulder.
totally into it. He loves Spidey. It's his favorite. He always asks me, Dad, what's your favorite? What's your favorite? So I found this fascinating because I was like, wow, like interesting. Now,
Yeah, I love that. Dude, anything like that where they do kind of experiments on what shit like that does to your mind, I'm all in, dude.
Yeah, me too. Now, I mean, how can you relate? You know, how us and spiders correlate, whatever. I like the idea that they've done, but that they did there. But yeah, this book is fascinating, man. And I'm not even into the good stuff yet. And he says in the beginning, he's like, look, you can read this book however you want. You can go to the end, you can go here. There's no rhyme or reason, but I'm purposely going in order just because the way he's presenting it. Although he's already referenced like chapter 10 through 13 so many times that I want to go to it. But I don't want to have to come back because I won't come back. I'll listen to the stuff I want and then I'll ditch it. And I just want to finish the book. But so like, is this you, dude?
Yeah, I wish I'd quit my job, but that's what it reminded me of, dude. Look at that. That's one of the covers from the Spider-Man comic like a couple months ago. Isn't that cool as hell?
That's really good.
There's a guy named Patrick Gleason. He's a real famous artist. But and he made a bunch of them. This is the blue one. He made a white one and a red one as well. These are worth a shit ton of money. Like they're worth a couple $100, you know, if they're graded.
Dude, I wonder if you could get your that AI program you wrote to do some Spideys.
It does. You can, and there's actually a way that you can actually even turn the cursor. You know, like the little the thing that actually does the, you know, the placement of all the pixels and everything into a spider.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, what's the name of the program? I have it. But no, I think it's built into Python. What is, I'm trying to.
Are you still coding?
Yeah, I haven't been doing it as much since I started drawing, but I've been doing it with the 3D printer program.
Dude, are you printing any Spideys or anything?
Yeah, actually, I printed a couple of, well, I didn't print any like full 3D figures. I have some designs. I was looking for that program really quick because I don't use that one because it's kind of like for beginners to learn how to draw. But that's one of the coasters I printed.
That's cool.
Yeah, look at that detail.
That's awesome, man.
And it's like, you know, just a coaster.
Yeah.
But then I've been printing these fidgets, these 3D fidgets. It prints in one piece, at one time, and it's like a fidget toy. And fidget toys are all the rage, dude. It's insane. Me and Dakota go to these fidget stores called Learning Express, and it's like 100 girls her age in there buying shit like this.
Really?
Yeah, just crazy stuff. What else?
That's weird.
I've been printing a bunch of stuff for Rachel. She's been selling those Mickey ears and mini ears, you know, like the ones you get at Disney World.
I want to see what it looks like.
Hang on.
You have one nearby?
Yeah, I do. Hang on.
Because you keep talking about them, and I'm trying to imagine, and I can't imagine. But I do want to go. Payne asked me today if we could go to Disneyland, and it's funny. I was just thinking about going to Disneyland. Oh yeah, simple.
I print it in 2 pieces.
Nice. Oh, the top's one piece, and then okay.
Yeah, and then it sits in here, and then the ears go on here, and they kind of sit here and here. You know, you can picture it.
Yeah.
And it's just that. It's a lollipop and a face.
Lollipop and a stand.
Yeah.
Dude. So what do we got on the books?
You said you're going to Disneyland? That's where they got the Spider-Man stuff.
Payne asked me today, he's like, when can we go to Disneyland? And I was like, I was just thinking today about taking him to Disneyland. I want to take him before, I just said this to Jenny and he heard me. I go, I want to take him before the magic wears off.
Oh, you have.
Meaning like at his right age. Right?
Yeah, you
like
have to be old enough, but not too old. Right.
Yeah, he's in a beautiful age. He's like, Dad, what do you mean the magic wears off? I was like, well, you know, the Magic Kingdom, I don't want the magic. He's like, how's the magic going to wear off? I was like, I was just kidding. I'm just playing around.
Yeah,
the magic I'm like, the magic can't wear off. I'm being silly. I'm just being silly.
You know what? Yeah, don't listen to me. I'm old. I'm old.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm tired.
Old. Yeah, I didn't sleep well. Clearing out and stuff didn't happen.
Yeah, clearing in the.
Yeah, it never happened. Can't take anything new in. I'm so confused.
It never happened.
Can I just go sleep for 4 hours and I'll be fine? Can we do something like that?
Dude,
And then they're like, no, you can't catch up on sleep. But
it's amazing. And I'm looking at my sleep now because I just want to show, like, you won't be able to see it, but so my deep sleep, 2 hours and 49 minutes, which is super high. It says light sleep.
Oh God, am I tired?
4.5 hours, super high. REM, only 8%, 39 minutes, super low. And I realize, I think, is because I'm just getting up too early. So lately I've been, instead of trying to get up at 5, I've been staying in bed till about 6:30, almost 7, with, if I can, because we got to be out the door by a certain time. But Payne's got zoo camp all weekend and he's having the time of his life, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be like, dude, just sacrifice. So the morning, and this is kind of full circle to where I was about to get into, is working out though. But like, I think I found a really good time, which is like 3:00. I went to the gym today at 3:00 because it's hard sometimes for me to go. I like going in the morning, but it's hard for me sometimes to go during the day because I have things I should be doing at work. And I'm like, well, but
I feel guilty too.
I feel guilty, but my rationale is that I'll do better work if I get a workout.
But you really will. It's not even
you
like
really will.
Bullshit.
You really will. That's true.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, okay, that's true. But maybe I don't have to go to the gym. Maybe I can just get a jog in, or I can walk a couple
even
miles.
Just walk around.
Walk around. So I've been doing just walking in the morning, getting like a good half-hour walk in, keep my mind. Now I know if I have my more work done, I can have a nice workout because I can be in the moment and take my time.
And right? Without having all that noise, right?
Without having to be like still making a to-do list of shit I got to get done when I get back.
The to-do list.
So
I get trapped in that all the time.
I've switched it. Yeah, I've kind of switched it to where I'm not getting up so early, and I'm gonna try to not stay up later, but like just switch my day, because I'm not gonna stay up late. Like this is as late as I've been up in a week or two.
What?
Yeah, I don't stay up really when Payne goes to sleep.
You should have said that to me. You should have been like, "Don't. I go to sleep at 10 now. You got to get this thing rolling here."
Well, I know, but it's been a few weeks, and I wanted to catch up with you, and I didn't want to push it off. So, like, I think like 9. If we're doing like 9 and stuff, that's good. But yeah.
No,
so
whenever you want.
What are you doing like now? I mean, I know you're drawing now.
I got the 3D printer rolling. That's been great. I've actually invoiced them a couple of times for pencil stash to print. I've got the mine still rolling. I've got the comic book thing that I'm all about. I'm gonna start. You can see kind of behind me a little bit. You can see like some of these marks. I'm starting to lay out like where all my graded comic books are going to sit. So this is another Jordan Peterson thing, like you were talking about, where you he was like, take one room, beautify it, put a bunch of cool shit in it, and just make it really badass and really fun and really cool and stuff like that, right? So I was like, okay, I will do that. So I pretty much was like, what kind of art should I get? So I'm like, I'll get the same shit that Jordan Peterson gets. And I was like, okay,
Russian?
Yeah, I'm like, let's go look for some Russian shit, stuff like that. And sure enough, I found some stuff. I'm like, yeah, but that's not really me, like what could I need it to be me, so I kept looking, and I was like, what else could I find? Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, no. And then I was downstairs and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna clean up some stuff and do some spring cleaning and throw some shit away. And I found some old Spider-Man comics and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, these motherfucking comic book covers were done by guys like Todd McFarlane, Stan Lee, all these guys, John Romita Jr., John Romita, all these guys that are super fucking famous, Jim Lee, all these guys that are legit artists. I'm like, this is it. I'm like, this is my fucking Jordan Peterson art that I'm going to put all over the fucking room. So I was like, okay, let's see what I can do. Let's get into the comic book thing, it was Spider-Man because that was the comic, the Todd McFarlane first Spider-Man comic. I got it, actually. I could pull it out, but I was going to show some of these other ones really quick. So I started getting like graded comics. So these are graded by a company. They're sealed. They can't come out. You can't read it. It's in perfect condition. It's as close to mint as you can get. And then they encapsulate it in this thing So now it's graded and it's worth way more money. So this is worth about $100 now. You turn a $4 comic into a $100 comic. But look how cool that fucking cover is, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty sharp, man.
Yeah. It's just a
Who's that? Is that
Spider-Man
Todd?
head. What's that?
Was that
No,
Todd?
this is a guy named Begley. So you could see his name on the cover right here. Begley is a guy that does a bunch of different variants. So I think his first name is it Jim Begley? I can't remember his first name.
Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, right. That's John Romita and John Romita Jr. There's a bunch of those type of guys where it's family. And then I got a couple other ones too that I thought were cool. I just started looking at different covers and I just started cover hunting. Like, look how cool that cover is. It's hard to see. Hang on.
Dude, Venom, that's one of Payne's favorites, man.
Yeah, look at
Venom. Yeah. We didn't realize because we're playing a lot of Lego Avengers on Xbox, which is an awesome game.
All the Lego games are the best, dude.
And Venom, he's like this little guy, but all of a sudden he comes ripping out of his body and he becomes like a Hulk. Yeah, he's amazing. It's really cool. Look at that.
It's hard to see it perfectly, but
no, I got you, man. Wow.
Just really, really fun shit. I got one more here I wanted to show you that I thought was like as cool as it gets. So I bought this one. Check this one out. And then you put them together.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's the Goblin, the Green Goblin, grabbing Spidey and Gwen and winning this fight.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's called a connecting variant.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 magazines though, right?
But same issue. They're both issue number 47.
Cool.
So yeah, they have dude, these covers are so intricate and they're so collectible and they're so valuable that for like a comic, like you said, you know, if Payne's into Venom, I want you to do something really cool. They have Venom number 200 is coming out next week. And they're gonna have a boatload of covers and a boatload of different stuff coming out for that Venom number 200 because it's a big deal, you know. So they're gonna have a lot of variants, a lot of collectible stuff that you could actually then get graded and make some money on if you wanted to even keep them.
How do you get them graded?
You send them to this place called CGC. And then they take a look at them and see how much they're worth. And then they send them back to you based on their value. They'll stamp that little number up in the corner and they'll slab it. That's what it's called. They slab it. And then it's in there for, you could take it out, but I mean, then you lose the value of the grading process and whatnot.
Yeah.
So here, I'm going to share my screen really fast. And then we don't have to chat all night because I know if you have to go, but check this out. Share. So let me know. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
So June 16th. So 2 weeks. June 16th is Venom number 200. So that's the cover that you'll see on like the newsstands. But dude, check this out. Look at all the different artists. Oh, Mark Begley. There he is. Here's all the different artists. These are all the top dudes, all the top women, all the top artists in the world. This guy's awesome. Clayton Crane, love him. Greg Horn, awesome. Gabriel Dell'Otto, love him. Scott Campbell, super famous. Humberto Ramos, love him. Patrick Gleason, so awesome. He's the guy that did that like web Spider-Man. Yeah, but it's okay. So here you can see on the right, these are all the other covers for just this same issue. It's the same issue, but they did all these different covers to celebrate the number 200 issue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at this one, dude. And you can just click on them. Look at that. Can you see that shit?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, that's the Greg Horn. So I got a bunch of these that I ordered. Look at this one.
Oh wow.
Just Venom dunking on Spider-Man.
That'll be a popular one. Yeah.
Oh, huge. I ordered this one as well. I just got confirmation that I get this one. That's the Todd McFarlane homage right there. The issue that I was telling you about that got me into it. They keep that issue is so huge that they keep replicating that issue because it was such a game changer for the art world of comics. I mean, It's just nuts. Like here, look at this one, dude. There's the Patrick Gleason Venom version. Look at the spider and the web. Like the web, just like we were talking about, you know? with Eddie Brock in there.
What's it cost to get like a Todd McFarlane issue?
They're all $4.99 or here, cover price, $10. So they're all $10 because this is number 200. Usually they're about $3.99 or $4.99, and you just go to a comic store and you buy them straight up. But then if you get them graded like I did, that's $22. That costs $22 to grade it, but you have to wait a long time for it to come back to you. But these I didn't do myself. I just bought them already graded. Just to be able to build my art collection. But then once I started buying some of the graded stuff and I figured out how the whole thing works, I was like, maybe I can get some of these super popular issues when they come out, send them off to get graded, then amass the value and keep them for, a couple of years, whatever. And then they'll turn into, a couple $100 worth of fucking comic books when I only spent maybe $28 total out of pocket. I could turn that into 100, 200, $300 down the road. And that's a huge return.
Yeah.
I mean, just a lot of people would be like, why the fuck would you do that? That's a waste of time. Tell me what else you can do that you could turn $4 into 100 by sending it to some company that puts it into a slab for $22. So yeah, $4, $22, $26 out of pocket. Now, if anyone wants to see if I'm just bullshitting or what, just go to eBay. And I could go right now and I could show you on eBay what all of these are going for. I mean, here, dude, I got it right here. You can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Look at, there you go. There's a Todd McFarlane Clayton Crane homage, $219. Here's another Amazing Spider-Man number 797, just some random fucking issue, 797. This is another Clayton Crane, 9.8 CGC, 120. 118, 19, whatever.
Wow.
Here's an ungraded issue, $6. There's the graded one, like I was saying, 90 plus, whatever shipping. So $90 for that one. That's a $4 comic plus $22. So $26 into 90. This is ungraded, and it's $50 just because it's a variant. It's like a special variant. Look at, it's just crazy. Look at this one, 150 for this Venom number 26. It's just a random cool cover. So this guy graded it, and it's the first issue that some character shows up. Oh, does this one have a signature? No, it says COA. I don't know why there's a COA here, but yeah, $150. Boom. This one's got 30. Look at, if you want to see if there's a market for this, you go see how many bids are on certain things. 39 bids with 2 days left. There's not much shit on eBay where you see this much action, dude. Look at this. 13 bids with 2 days left. Everyone knows to bid on the last second. And there's 30 bids on this thing. There's almost 40 people that aren't playing the game right. 26, 9.
Aren't playing the game right.
Dude, it's insane. I just keep, these are some of the ungraded. Look at this one. This one's from 2018. Spider-Man 658. Because he's in a cool version of his costume. This is a regular issue you could have gotten for $4 at the regular comic book store. Almost $300 now.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it's 3 years old. It's not 23 years old. It's 3 years old.
That's cool, man.
That's what I'm into right now.
Yeah, that's fun. I was never into them, but I could see myself being attracted to them as pieces of art because that's fun. That's a lot.
They are. These are the top dogs, dude. They're the top artists in the world. And these guys are recognized as the top artists in the world. So like DC and like other comic book places, and even like Disney Studios and Marvel and these types of companies. I'm not talking about some guys that are just, some random dudes. These guys are working for the top of the food chain right now,
Yeah, that video Marvel, you sent me, that video you sent me about Todd blew my, it was a life-changing video for me.
Dude, like I said, it has nothing to do with comics. It has everything to do with life and
I started watching it. I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. And I had to take a break to do something. I was like,
how they numbered shit.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to watch it again. I was like, people need to watch this. And I want to take that to heart. Like the way he would mail packages of his art every week, or let's just say to all these people, just grind. I'm like, I want to do that with music. I've been sitting here thinking what I want to spend my time on. And I keep coming
Yeah,
back,
that's so important.
to music, and that's just all I want. And it's like he said, like, what could you do if if like, you know, just to perpetuate, he just wanted to perpetuate that he could keep doing art. That was his only
Yeah, he
reason.
just wanted to keep
He
doing
wanted to be able to
to
do
keep
his art,
drawing.
right?
Yeah,
Just
to
keep
keep doing
drawing.
his
So he's like, if
yeah,
I
just
could
keep drawing.
make, you know, 85 grand a year, he said, and just be able to
He
do
would
art,
be good. He would never
all I
ask for a
wanted to
raise.
do,
Yeah.
right? And then him starting his own label, and then like the way he started his label and how they gave the IP to each artist, I thought was so smart. And then like
So
he
smart.
goes, you know, we're
Even
handing,
at the risk of losing everybody to somebody outbidding him, or
and he
like
did. Yeah, he
coaxing, and he
lost plenty
did, and
of
he even
people.
said it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
you know,
remember, one of my favorite things too was when he said that, like he was like, I drew my style, and I drew what I thought Spider-Man should look like today, and I drew what Spider-Man should be in the '90s, because that was, that was the time, and he's like, I bring it into him, and they're like, why does he look like this? Why is his eye so big? Why are you using these spaghetti webs? And they were like, super pissed at all these different things that are now iconic with Spider-Man,
yeah.
because Todd just persevered and was like, because that's my Spider-Man. Take it or
See,
fucking leave
I
it.
love that. And that's great. That's a great analogy for music too. I never realized, well, I realized a while back, but um, you know, you'll hear artists get on stage and say, like, you know, just don't compromise, be yourself. And it's like, you don't understand what that means. But when I did
Yeah,
my
it's
my
really hard to really wrap your head around that.
yeah, but when I
Yeah,
did my like demo album with the guy
so cool.
in
Nashville.
Deerfield, I
Oh, I thought you were
realized,
Nashville.
well, no, when I did the one in Deerfield,
Nashville, Illinois.
I I
Okay.
really compromised a lot. And even to the point where even Jenny had said, like, these songs don't necessarily sound like you, because I co-wrote them, but also I co-wrote most of them, but like meaning some of them I wrote myself, but some of them I co-wrote, but then he produced, and then he put a spin on it when he had me doing things I didn't want to do. He's like, well,
No
this should
doubt.
be higher. You should sing higher. And I'm like, I don't want to sing higher. He's like, but you know, that's where the money, no. And he had okay. And I
There's a
did
balance for
compromise.
sure.
There's a
There
balance.
should
And I
be a
was just
balance. You
like,
do need help, but at the same time, you also need to make sure
you need
that
to keep
you're
your
being
vision.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to have your vision. So it's like, there's songs that I want to do in my way. And I don't know if people are going to like it, but I don't care.
It doesn't
And
matter.
and so now it's like I'm really focused on getting, when we have the space, because all we're living out of boxes really, but I'm getting my studio up because I have all the shit to do it, and I'm gonna start doing music my way. In fact, the funny thing is, last point on this is like, whenever the most views and the most feedback I ever get on anything that I put out to the world is always music. And
Yeah,
the people that say like really nice things about me or whatever it is always revolved around the music part. And it was like, but I
so
would never,
you get some good feedback on
I would
top of
always
it.
get great
Yeah,
feedback there. And I was like, but I would never
but
go that
positive
way.
feedback
Yeah,
too.
I would never
Yeah,
go that way, because I always thought, well, what am I going to
it's
do with it?
scary, dude. It's scary. Yeah,
But it's
you
like,
know
I
what?
shouldn't
You
be
always
thinking that.
No, you shouldn't. And I was listening to something too that was, like along the same lines. So like, if you're doing it for the money, um, you're never going to make any money. You have to do it because you love to do it. And then if you do something like that, and let's say you want to share that song, or you wanted to share your album with everybody else, a lot of people would be like, no, I spent money on this computer and recording it and the instruments and my time, and I want to charge for it. And they send it out there to some platform that you can, make some money off of, and no one downloads it. You never make any money. Or you can just put it on SoundCloud and pump the hell out of it somewhere on SoundCloud, through social media, wherever else you want to try. And like Todd McFarlane said, you could drop flyers from a fucking plane, or mail the packages to whatever producer, or whatever, anybody that you want to pick your song up, or like TikTok, or whatever the fuck you want to do. You can make, I just gave you 20. Okay. Like
Dude,
I
I
said,
know.
right. So you
I
could find a way to pitch this bitch for free, get your message out there. if enough eyeballs and ears tune in, the money will start to fucking rain. I mean, like, it'll start raining money and you won't be able to stop it. You just need the attention. You don't need to sell anything. You just need the attention.
Well, and that's where I've been getting the attention, but then I shied away from that. I remember sending a demo to US 99 in Chicago, the radio station, and the lady came down and met me in the lobby. The lady, the director, the music director, and was like, "Look, you got good stuff, but it's not top 40, and we can only play top 40. But I like what you're doing, but I can't play it." And I was like, I'm like, look.
And that's okay.
I go, that's
You're not
cool.
going to get top 40 on your first try. And if you do, great.
And I said, that's cool. I appreciate you even meeting me and
coming down. Yeah, dude,
like,
that's huge.
That's what I want.
That's a win. Exactly. Those are the wins. Those are
and that was like 20 years ago. But but what I'm saying is, like, it's funny that I never gave it the attention, but in my heart of hearts, the thing that I could show up and do every day is write and create music. And it's like,
just create.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, just show up and create. Like, I was going to show you this. Like, I started drawing some Spider-Man stuff. I've been texting you, the results, and they look a little grade school, but they're fun.
They look great, man.
But so I was like, you know how it goes. So and this is what's going to happen with you in music. You're going to start playing music and you're going to start putting some stuff together, and you're going to realize that you need to get better at harmonies or song structure, or you're gonna have to get better at, like, dynamics and mixing and mastering and a bunch of different things. And you're going to find all this out as you start doing music, right? But you have to start somewhere. And once you start, though, you're going to try to put together a whole song. Like, that's what you always do. You want to draw Spider-Man. You want to color him in. You want to finish it off, and you want him to look like Spider-Man. The first couple times you're drawing, you want it to look like the thing. You want it to sound like the top thing. 40. You want it to, all of that, right? But if you keep going long enough and you get past that initial, like, adrenaline rush or that dopamine hit, you're going to realize that you need some technical ability, so you're like, okay, let's take a couple steps back. Like, I did this with coding. I did this with a bunch of different things to help me really, really understand what the fuck was going on so that I could apply it to something. So I was like, okay, I've been drawing a couple Spider-Mans. I did this whole Spider-Man book here. It's just some, like, really, it's just like, hey, draw Spider-Man, and it shows
great.
Like, do this, do this. You can see some of the Spider-Man that I've sent you are from this book. But this is kind of just almost like a paint by numbers. You could just copy the shapes and you do your thing, and then you get the Spider-Mans and you look great, and it's colored and everything's cool. So I was like, all right, that's so fun. But then I kind of, it's like, man, I want to be like the guy that can just draw Spider-Man doing anything. I don't want to have to follow some guide. I want to just envision him in my head and draw him like that. How do I do that? So I was like, okay, I found another book. So I was like, okay, look, this one's called, like, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And what it does is it actually takes you through, like, art, like a little bit more of, like, hey, get these supplies. Here's the terminology for comic books. Here's some fundamentals about perspective. Here's some fundamentals.
Oh, that's so fun.
Here's how everything is drawn in these three shapes, circles and squares and, cubes. And they talk about, like, how, like, cylinders, and they talk about how you can make superheroes by just drawing these shapes instead of actually, so they break it down.
That's
like,
so cool.
You can see how they break it all down.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking great.
Yeah. So then I started doing some of this stuff, and then they do more perspective, more technical shit, like 2.3 point, all that jazz. So I did a bunch of perspective stuff, and they show you how perspective works.
Yeah.
And there's a YouTube video and whatnot as well. So I am actually, you just saw my bookmark fall out. I am right here where they said, all right, let's start actually drawing. They're like, pick up some paper, pick up a pen. Dude, let's just start drawing some of these forms,
Good for you.
And just so we can, they're like, we just want to pick a form, and we just want to try to draw some forms, right?
What do you use, like, mechanical pencils over here?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, so let's just draw some form. So I got some of the paper out.
Awesome.
So I started drawing some of the forms and just trying to get, like body parts. Like how could I make this happen?
So cool, dude. Yeah.
So yeah, just crazy shit. So
for you.
Like I said, it's one of those deals where you could keep just painting by numbers, or you could really learn how the human shape moves and how you can draw in perspective and how shading works and how lighting works on your subject, which I do have a background. I'm not gonna lie, because I did go to art school and I had to learn some of this stuff to do computer art, because I did 3D rendering through computers, which is a little different than drawing by hand. But it's the same principle, just digitally, essentially. But the shapes are all pre-made. You don't have to actually be really good with a pencil or a brush or whatever. So 3D studio stuff was my route, but same kind of mindset. So I'm just, like you said, 20 years, I'm bringing it back. I'm trying to create. I'm always creating, that. Like I was computer coding, trying to create, 3D printing, trying to create, drawing, trying to create, music, trying to create. I always come back to music as well, just like you said. The computer thing with cryptocurrency, I am creating. That's creation. Like I was telling Rachel this on the walk today too, and then I got a jet. And then, well, actually, you can jump in here really quick too, because I'm sure you got a bunch to say. But I was telling her on the walk, I was like, a lot of people always, I don't know what to do. I'm bored. I need some direction. I need a hobby. I need some help. I need something. Blah blah blah. So I always say, like, hey man, I avoid using the word creative. Get creative, because everyone will be like, I don't have the creative gene. I'm not creative, and they immediately will label themselves and write that off. But if you just say, hey, just create something, I don't care what it is, create it. Go fucking, if you want to do something, you go garden, go cook, go, put together a little go-kart thing that you always wanted to build. Go, do some drawing, do some music, do some, whatever. I don't give a shit. Build a computer, build a crypto mine, paint make a t-shirt. Whatever. Who fucking cares? There's a billion things you can do. Just pick one of them and just go do it. Just create something. You'd be blown the fuck away what will happen when you just start creating things. You know what I'm saying?
I'm loving it. I agree with you. I do believe that I'm an artist at heart, and I am. I mean, whether it's because I'm always drawn to that, to creating,
you were making furniture and shit, and
like just trying to feed that need, right? And to try something new, and to see how you can come up with something, and
or what just happens. You never know. It could blow up in your face, or it could turn into fucking gold.
It could be gardening, right? Yeah, it could be anything. And it's like, that is well, it's good for our brains, but I always say go back to what you like to do when you were a kid.
Love it.
What you've always loved to do, because that will keep the longevity. Like I can tell, love to draw. Yeah, it's pure, and it's like you could spend hours doing it, right? Yeah. Where it's like you're in flow, right? Where like an hour goes by and you didn't even notice because you love it.
You do, and that happens all the time. And if you focus enough too, like you said, if you get into a mindset where you can lose those distractions, again, back to what you were saying earlier, and then you work out, that gets a lot of those distractions and that noise turned off. Then you go do the creation, like I was saying, and you can focus so much better that then you do get into that state where you're like, God, dude, there's an hour and a half. I got to go to get some sleep, or I got to get, I got to go back to work, or I got to go pick up the kids, or I got to do whatever. But yeah, boom, you time travel.
Dude, I love how you're breaking it down, and I'll let you go. I love how you're breaking it down into these things that, let's say, building blocks. So there's some things I wanted to do, and some exercises with songwriting that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I never had the patience or whatever to sit down and do. So like Brooks and Dunn, for example, you've heard of this group, right? Brooks and Dunn.
Of course.
Boot, Scoot, and Boogie, the whole deal. The Kix Brooks, the not lead singer guy, like, he sings a couple songs, but he's not the main. He's not Ronnie Dunn. Sure. He said, he wanted to be a songwriter, and he didn't have the best voice. So what he did was he just studied like the top 20 hit songs of the year and said, what's going on with these songs, right? How fast did they get to the chorus? How many, what's the chord progression? How many is it? Verse, chorus? Is there a bridge? So you studied structure. Then what Alan Jackson will talk about is like, take one of your favorite songs and try to just stay with the structure, but rewrite it. So it still fits. Yep. Write your own words to the same structure of the song.
Even if you just make it faster or slower to start with, you know, if you're not that good, just do it faster or slower to start with. You don't even have to rewrite the whole thing. Just change the tempo. Maybe just change a chord or two in the verse or in the, you know, in the hook or whatever, and just go back and start there. Too. Small wins.
That's a good point.
The next thing you know, you can rebuild the whole fucking song.
But I love what they're talking about. Is like, it's almost like what you're talking about, paint by numbers. It's like, take an already proven song system or whatever and start writing. Make sure you're writing your songs in some sort of structure. It's like having a gym routine where when I write a song, I write to rhythm, I write to sound, I write to what I'm feeling, but I never write. I know how songs go, but I never like, so it's like, I'm going to start back at the basics and I'm going to start writing from building blocks and see if I put, you know, can I, you know, because I loved it. I have notebooks full of shit that I've written over the years. And it's like, that is a place I could spend my time all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right?
At least
I can record and sit and sing into a microphone because personally, I love the sound of my own voice. And it's like,
or just try to hum something. If you hear a hook in your head and you necessarily can't hit the notes to sing it properly, just hum it out so that you can hear like the, you know, the progression of notes, like you were saying, or like how it would change, you know, just try to just make the noises verbally into some recording device so then you can go back and refine it. That's exactly what I just showed you. It's just a little,
hear the recording,
a little sketchy bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you should hear
but that's what the best producers do too. They're like, do this, you know, like da 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 da. You know, I'm loving it. That's what I, you know.
That's so funny. Oh shit, kid, I'll let you go, man. But we got to get together somehow, some way.
Don't punch the table like that. That's aggressive.
We got to get together. Which it was probably good that you backed that weekend because it was my son's preschool graduation. We were moving the next week.
You had a grad too. Yeah.
I was out the week before that up on the fishing trip. And
look, man, everything happens for a reason. I will come out that way. Like I said, it's just a matter of timing. Just because you know, we missed that little window. We kind of just threw it on the calendar. It was thrown on the calendar just to make sure that we put it on the calendar. Because then this happens. You know what I'm saying? Without that, this doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, that's so true. That's so true. So,
but I'll head back out.
It's a good thought. We'll make it work.
We'll play some golf, baby.
Otherwise, I'll be by you, before long to play some golf.
So. No, I definitely want to take the Tesla on a huge ass road trip too. I want to make a thing out of it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe even do some podcasting on the road. I might change the name of the podcast to Threats and Menaces. That's the name of the news organization in Spider-Man. No, I can't rip them off. That'd be unoriginal. I'm going to keep it as Quantum Alchemy, but I haven't done my podcast in so long either, dude. I don't even know it.
Dude, I listened to your last one. This is a couple of weeks ago. I listened when I was walking. I listened to your last one, and I was going to ask you if you had done another one. I had a guy at dinner ask me about my podcast, and I haven't done one in a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of like, I was just thinking like, hey, you know, Friends went however many episodes, and sometimes there's only 3 seasons of a show. You're like, maybe my show ran its course. I don't know. But you know what? I had so much to say, and now I feel like maybe I've said it. I don't know.
Well, I think you're more like what you just said. You're going back to the basics. And when you go back to the basics, you humble yourself, and you have some realizations that, hey, you know, like, I can't be jumping and shouting and telling everybody that I know everything if I'm going back to the basics. Let's just close it down. We'll grind it out for a while. We'll get back to the main stage where the eyeballs are on us, but we got to work our way there. You know, we got to grind it out. You know, that's how, you know, we'll get to that success, you know, that's that level.
And I still like so I'm doing this caffeine challenge, and I've recorded my videos every day. I record a video because I'm going to put up a YouTube,
yeah,
you know, like, hey, 30 days
I
without.
like that.
Because I like that because it holds me accountable, but also it's like I like being the guinea pig. I like being
just put it up there.
Yeah.
Just put it up there.
You know?
And if nobody watches it, who cares? You have a video documentary of that thing. You know what? And that's awesome in and of itself. No one does that anymore. Or you know, if they do, they never actually do anything with it. They just have it on some GoPro that's sitting on a memory card in their fucking computer or some hard drive. Just put it up on YouTube and just keep documenting some of the cool shit that you're trying out. And the eyeballs will come, dude. The eyeballs will come.
It's so fun. It's so fun. So it'll be good.
All right, go get some sleep. Go. I'm keeping you up. I'm fucking everything up. I'll talk